We're getting a nice break from the winter weather today, so I thought I'd come out and check on the bees. I need to give them another what's called a protein patty, which is like winter food for the bees, and also some more sugar water in their feeder. We have a feeder that goes right inside the hive, so we need to take the cover off, make sure they're doing okay in the cold weather, and then we'll get them all covered back up as quickly as we can. We don't want them to get chilled, but today's about 55 degrees, so it's a perfect day to check them out. So let's go see what's going on in the beehive. Now, because I have a 10-pound restriction on how much I can lift for the next month, I actually need Sarah to take the cover off of here for me. But I did weigh the sugar water. It only weighs 5 pounds. I only brought out a half gallon, so I know I can lift that. So we're gonna get in here and see what's going on. So from what I can see, they look active, which is good. I'm going to try to take this inner screen off. And I'm just going to put this new protein patty in. First I'm going to fill their feeder. I'm trying to do this without, you know, disturbing them any more than I have to. And that filled it up most of the way. And this feeder allows the bees to go down and get the sugar water, take it back to the hive so that they can feed through the winter. Now these protein patties come wrapped in parchment paper. I'm just going to take the top part off, and then I'm going to lay this inside. The bottom piece of parchment paper can stay on. You can actually leave both parts on and they'll eat right through it. But what I read is taking the top one off makes it a little easier for them. And I want them to have to work as little as possible in the cold weather. So there we go. They've got food. We're going to get them covered back up, and then they'll be safe at least for another month or so, I think, with this. If we get, next time we get a warm day, I'll come out and check on them again and just make sure they're active. And it actually looks like they're multiplying in numbers, so that's good.
So did I look calm and collected when I was helping Kevin out? Well, I was hiding it. I'm totally freaked out by bees. I'm not used to them yet. I don't really want to be around them. That's why this is Kevin's project here, but I think I did okay.
Yeah, I think you did great. One thing that I'm learning quickly is that bees really aren't that scary. Now, if I was going in to actually take some of the frames out and you know, look for the queen and that type of thing, I'd put on more protective gear than just my hat. But for something like this, I think the hat is just fine. It allows me to move easily, and you know, I've yet to be stung. They don't seem to be aggressive at all. So
well, it's cold out too.
Yeah, and it's pretty cold out.
You know, they're moving slowly.
Yeah, so I'm excited for this spring when, you know, things are really blooming and the bees are active, and we can add a second super onto here. Our plan is to add a second deep super and then the honey super on top of that. So that's exciting. We're hoping, you know, we're hoping, first of all, that this won't be our only hive.
Right, maybe we'll catch some. Yeah,
we're hoping to maybe try catching some this spring. So it just depends how the rest of this winter goes for us here on the homestead. So
Well, we have another little project to do that Kevin is well enough to help with.
Right.
So let's go in there and see what we've got going on.
Later this week, I expect more eggs to hatch out of the incubator for our quail. So today, I need to move the babies that we have in the house currently out here to the quail barn. We're gonna have a couple warm nights. I think this is a perfect time to move them. The lows are only gonna be in the 40s or 50s. They've been in the house now for about a week without any heat at all, which you know, got them used to that. I think it'll be a good transition out here. They're fully feathered. I think we can even sex them today when we move them out here. So I'm gonna get this this cage set up here on the end. If you remember, I had 2 spare males that I was keeping in this cage, just in case something happened to the one male that we had. And today, I'm gonna actually process those, and Sarah and I will have those for lunch tomorrow. Because we're not just raising these quail for eggs, we want them for meat. In fact, we mostly want them for meat. So we're going to get this cage all set up, that we'll head in the house. We need to move the eggs from the egg turner today into the still incubator so that those can hatch. They should be hatching in probably about another 3 days. And then we also need to bring those babies out here. So I'm just going to put a box in here. I always just put a cardboard box in the quail cage with a hole in it so they can get in. I cover the top in packing tape, so if they poop on it, it's not as big of a deal. These boxes are like 60 cents at Walmart, so they last a few months, then replace it with something new. Now, out here we do have the automatic watering system as well. But for right now, I will be bringing their water out from in the house. Until they get used to drinking out of the automatic system, I'll make sure that they also have their regular water that they're used to in the house. So let's go in and get them and see if we can figure out how many males and how many females we have. Alright, so I'm going to grab these babies one at a time. We'll try to sex them the best that we can at this age. They're 3 weeks old. Now remember, by 6 to 8 weeks they'll be laying eggs and they'll be ready to process any that we aren't going to be keeping. So let's start and see where we're at. They're also great flyers already, so I need to be careful. Alright, so here's the first one. I'm pretty sure that he's a male. He doesn't have a lot of spots on the breast and kind of an orange breast. That's typically the sign of a male. But we'll see as he gets a little bit older. Now, one thing I didn't mention either is that I've actually gone ahead and put leg bands on each of these. That's because I plan on having a lot of different, hatchings of them, possibly even in the same cage at sometimes, so I can mark down the leg band color and know which ones are ready to process when. So all of these guys in this hatching have a green leg band. So I'd say that's one male. Now this one I'm almost certain is a female. You can see she has a lot of spots on her breast, not much of that orange color. So I'm pretty confident that this is a female. So that's one of each. I'm hoping we end up with more females than males because ultimately what our goal is to get up to about 35 females that we'll be keeping for eggs and for hatching. So we started out with just 4, so this is the first time we'll be expanding that. Okay, I'd say this is another female. So that's 2 females. I think another female, so 3 females. Oh, another female. 4 females. That's good. Is it really possible that we only end up with 1 male? Nope. This is a male. So that's 2 males, 4 females. Female. So 2 males, 5 females. I think that's a male. So 3 males, 5 females. So hey, that's good. That's 5 more egg layers that we'll have in just a few weeks that we'll really be able to start getting more eggs, more incubation. And this time in the incubator, I think I have 21 eggs. So hopefully we'll have a pretty good hatch rate with the new improvements that I've made to the incubators. And So hopefully in just a few weeks we'll have a lot more females. So let's take these guys out to the barn and get them in their new house. All right, so we're out in the quail barn. For those of you who worry about me, I had Sarah carry these out here for me. Don't worry. All right, we'll just put them in one at a time. All right, looks like they're gonna settle in fine. I already saw one go inside the little box in there. I already saw one peck at some food. They're gonna be just fine out here. Like I said, the next couple nights are only supposed to be lows in the 40s, so that will be great. It probably won't even get that cold inside of this barn. There'll be a first good few nights for them out here, but they are fully feathered, so really, even if it were to get cold, it shouldn't matter at this point. But you know, as humans, we kind of feel bad for our animals. So we'll get them settled in. One last thing to do today is to go in and switch the eggs around in the incubator, and then we have an update for you guys on the Christmas card contest that we're having. So we'll show you where we're at on that. I wanted to show you guys one more time our incubator setup and just how exactly we work it. Now I have two incubators. These are the ones that I just recently replaced the thermostats on. I'll leave a link to that video so you guys can see that. This was a real easy way to take some old incubators and make them work like new again. So in this one I have my egg turner. I've had the eggs in here for the last 15 days. Today is day 15 for these quail eggs. So today what I'm going to do is take them out of the egg turner and place them into this incubator, which doesn't have an egg turner in it. It still has a fan, still has the same thermostat, but in here they will just lay still on the bottom, and then this is where I'll let them hatch. The reason I like to have two is because this way I can get more right in here if I want to, and just be able to keep going back and forth, and it just makes a real easy way to keep more eggs in the incubator. Now I wanted to show you guys a little trick that I discovered recently that makes these work even better. Not only replacing those thermostats, but I also went and bought a bunch of these glass marbles. Last time we were in the big city, we went to Hobby Lobby and I picked up a bunch of these glass marbles. And I have these in the one with the egg turner. I have a bunch of these in some of the empty slots on the egg turner. And then on this one I just have them laying on the bottom. But what these do is they work as kind of a heat sink. So they absorb a bunch of heat, and then they help stabilize the air inside of the incubator. And I've really noticed a lot better performance since I've had these in there. So I'm really excited to see if they've made a big difference. They're light enough that the egg turner can still turn them, but they actually hold in the heat really nicely. So today I'm just going to move these over to the other side, and then in hopefully 2 or 3 days we'll start to have some more baby quail. Let's go on in the living room. I want to give you guys an update on the Christmas card contest.
Well, you guys, you can see that the Christmas cards on the wall is expanding. We're getting lots of Christmas cards in the mail. We really, really appreciate it, but we have a lot more to hang up on the wall and around the living room.
Right.
We've been looking through them every morning with our coffee, and oh my goodness, we've enjoyed it so much. It's been such a blessing to hear from you all. We do have a big contest coming up. The seeds in response to the first 50 cards, most of them have gone out. I have a few still that we need to write and stuff and send out, but most of those have gone out. But we still have another contest coming up. December 18th, we're going to be pulling a bunch of names for more prizes. We're still gathering prizes, so we don't even have a final number of how many people are going to win prizes, but it's going to be a lot of fun.
So this has been such a blessing for us, you guys. We just really enjoy reading all of these. We really do feel like we have the biggest family in the whole world. It's been awesome. Hey, if you're not a subscriber to our channel yet, we hope you'll hit that subscribe button before you leave. I wanted to tell you we're using a new feature on YouTube called YouTube Stories, where we'll post short little videos and updates of things throughout the day, so make sure you're checking that out as well. And until next time, you guys, thanks so much for stopping by the homestead. Take care, and God bless.
God bless.